Can I show you some other problems? Let's see. Maybe I can do some of them in the next. Let's read all the problems. So this one, I think all of you can do, no? Why don't you try this? Read it and try this.
Okay.
What, Cassandra, read it. Let's see. We have done this somewhere before, I think. But
yeah. Tina is learning to count and uses her left hand only to count. She starts with the sum as number 1 and then counts each finger once till she returns to her thumb. For example, she counts thumb 1, index 2, middle 3, ring 4, pinky 5, ring 6, middle 7, index 8, and back to thumb 9, etc. Write a program to simulate this. She counts up to 1,000. Which finger will Tina end up on? Let us see if we can solve this problem using a simulation.
okay, is the question clear?
Yes.
Should be easy to do. Don't rely on the number 1,000. Okay, if I give you 900 or 600, whatever number I pick, you should tell me which finger it should end up on. So you have to implement it here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now then let's read the next question after this. So this was the easy one, by the way. Okay, this one I have already mentioned to you guys a couple of times. You understand this one?
I don't remember this.
Why is Kiran laughing?
PJ, you gave this question as challenges earlier also, but I don't know whether somebody attempted, but I didn't try to attempt it.
Okay. So let's spend a minute defining this quickly, okay? Cassandra, so just scroll down a little bit. You can read the story later, okay? I'll just tell. So our goal is to move all the rings from the first needle to any of the other 2 needles. So let's pick the last one, okay? The third one, the one in the corner. I want to move it from the first stack to the third stack, but there is one rule. Every time I can move only one ring, right? If I pick up a ring from the first stack, I have to put it down. So I have to put it either on the second needle or the third needle. So once I put it down, then I go and pick up the second one. The second one is bigger than the first one, yes? In radius?
Yeah. Yes.
So I cannot put it on top of a smaller ring. Okay, so I can only put it right now. If I put the smallest one on the second needle, the next ring can only go on the third needle. Okay, now I can pick up the next one, but it's bigger than both of them. I cannot go anywhere. So what can I do now?
Take the one in the second needle and put it in the third?
Yes. And now you can take the third one and put it on the second one. Yes? Does everybody see this procedure?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you go at home and you take 3 books. Big, smaller, smallest. And then you just move them around on the table, right? You make 3 positions, 1, 2, and 3, and you move the books around. So that you can actually do this thing at home, right? Or you can take 3 pieces of paper and call them 1, 2, 3 or something. I don't know, whichever way. Just simulate it by hand. Can everybody do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Are there 2 rules in this? For example, we can shift only one of these. What do we call these rings? So only one of these has to be shifted at a time, or can we shift more than one at a time?
No. Always only one.
Only one.
Only one.
Okay. And when we are shifting back, for example, from the third to the second,
yes.
In that case, can we shift more than one, or is it again a condition that we have to shift?
Always only one.
Okay.
Okay, one at a time every time.
Okay.
I don't see how you would get very far.
So you want me to solve a 3-book puzzle? Come on, you can solve it, right?
Oh, if only 3. Okay. Okay. Because here there's
do it with 3 and then do it with 4.
Okay. Is the goal to reconstruct the original order you had?
No, the goal is to move the pile from one needle to another needle.
Okay, right.
Right? So right now I started on needle 1. I want all the discs on needle 3, let's say. Make sense? Cassandra, does it make sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So the problem is clear for everyone? Vanshika?
Yeah.
Problem is clear. Okay, the story is that there's I have a beautiful book called 1, 2, 3 Infinity by George Gamow. In the first chapter, he describes this, and for those from India, we will find it funny. He says there's a temple in Benares. I don't even know if there's such a temple. I don't know where they got the story from, but they claim there's a temple of Brahma in Benares, and the priests are doing this every second or continuously. They're chanting prayers and they're moving these are golden discs or something, and they're moving them. And the story is that there are 64 discs, and when they move all the 64 discs from one needle to the other, the universe will end. So I've asked you this question: if there are 64 discs, how long will it take to move it?
Okay.
Is that question clear?
Yeah.
Okay, for those in India, you can ask. If I don't know how they came up with this story that there's a temple in Benares, okay? But you can ask some family or friends and see if there was any such story in India. I don't know of such a story, but who knows, right?
Yeah.
If there is such a place, it would be wonderful to see what people are doing. Okay. So is the problem clear?
Yes.
Yes, Vijay.
Okay, interesting.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay, now scroll up, next problem. So the idea is you must write a simulation to do this, right? Make the computer move the disks according to this rule and see what happens, right?
Yep.
Okay, and this is last one. I already mentioned this Monty Hall problem to you. Do you guys know it, remember it, or I can go over it?
I remember it.
Cassandra remembers it. Okay, what about Vanshika and Kiran?
Yeah, I do remember this one.
Kiran?
Yeah, Vijay, I'm just reading the question, which question it is.
Okay.
Is it the same like open and close?
No. The idea is there are 3 doors. Okay, so let me just say it one more time. There are 3 doors.
Okay. Yes, Vijay, I remember this question.
Okay, so you're going to write a simulation and you're going to find is it better to switch or not.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your homeworks. Try to do one or more of these. Next week I will do algorithms, but I will discuss some of this quickly. Okay.
Okay.
And if you have any questions or clarifications, just reach out to me. I'll help.
So Vijay, we have basically 2 things to do this week. One or two of these questions,
Yes.
and second is the project.
And
The
the-
question has to.
Yes.
Catch up on all the labs. Some of us are very behind.
No, you know what? I have to say to you guys, I have a couple more things I wanted to do on the number theory and cryptography thing, but I put it aside because I wanted to give you something, maybe a different flavor, something new. But I can come back to it later. So if you want to, you can look at those labs, but if you want to wait, I can just do it next time a little bit also. But was this a good strategy? Did you guys like these problems today?
Yes, Vijay, definitely.
Vanshika?
Yeah, sure. They were very interesting.
Yeah, Cassandra?
Yes, very nice.
Yeah. And okay, let's go around the room. What did we learn from doing this?
To approach difficult problems can be approached in smaller steps.
Yes, that's the very important lesson. Anything else, Kiran?
And then sometimes enumerate can be used.
All the Python tricks and things, right? Indexes on lists, writing functions like toggle. These are all useful ideas, right?
Yes.
You can always try to make it small enough so that you can think about it in your head.
Yes, that is so cool. Sometimes we get lazy. I have to tell you this. So both things are happening here. I want to share with you. Sometimes we get lazy and we don't do it. Therefore, we don't solve certain problems because we don't see the pattern. If you try to do it in your head, it's not possible, right? So if you sit and write it on paper, you can actually solve the problem. That's very cool. The second thing is, even when you're working on paper and thinking about a problem, we are limited by how much we can do as humans. And I've shown you here that the computer can be used as a tool to go and find all these things for us, right? And our job is to look at the outcome and say, oh, those are square numbers. We are looking for the pattern. We make the computer do all the manipulations. That is a new capability for humans, right? In the old days, I'm telling you that people used to work on these kind of problems for days and days and days. If you look at some of the great mathematicians, they have entire 20 pages, 30 pages doing calculations to check out something. Because there's no computer to go and do it and see if it's working out correctly. So we have all inherited a very powerful tool if we know how to use it. But let me pause. Does that idea make sense to all of you now?
Yes, yes, it does.
Yes. So but we have to channel this, right? And these are attempts to give you the sense of that power.
Yep.
So that will be very helpful when you think of your projects, right? Those kind of questions that you cannot know, right? You cannot just figure it out by just doing on paper or something. You can now put it on the computer and we can solve it. And of course, I want to stress again, even though we're doing all these clever things, at the end of the day, we still have to write good code, yes?
Yeah.
I don't want any of you to feel that, hey, we can forget about Python. And I don't want you to feel that I'm not teaching you Python along the way, right? But I'm teaching you the right kind of Python where the code is not the only focus. Because usually in life, never is the code always the focus. We're always solving some problem, right? We're always trying to accomplish something. And the code has to be managed as we go along, right? We manage the problem and the code at the same time. That's hard to teach, but I hope these are, do you feel like these are giving you a little experience or a simulation of the real world situations?
Yeah, definitely they are.
Yeah. Is it making it too scary for you though?
No, not really scary, but I think in the beginning it can be difficult to work out things like this, but as you get used to it, they'll come to you very easily.
Yes. Yes. Cassandra, what about you? Are you getting a glimpse of what the world can be like, and is it scary?
Yeah, it's scary for me, yeah, but it's interesting and challenging in a good way.
Yeah, and I want to share with you guys that I ask, is it scary? Because I expect it to be so. For anything that's worth achieving in life, I expect it to be a little scary. I expect us to have doubts. What I want to teach, and I hope I do, is to teach you that the grit and determination to work through those doubts, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying to you that if you don't run away and don't get scared, and you make it a priority to work through it, very quickly the challenges will fall away. It is like learning to ride a bicycle or something. First time you fall down, if you give up, then you'll never learn to ride the bicycle, right? But if you keep trying, you'll learn it. Afterwards, if I asked you, how did you learn to ride the bike? You won't even remember it was difficult at one point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want all of you to keep that in mind. Okay. So the challenges are there. It's only what we do to them. How do we manage them? And these examples where I'm working with you are designed to help you overcome those challenges. So anyway, I don't want to hold you any longer. Are there any questions quickly that I can take?
Professor, I would like to discuss some questions that I had from the data science class.
Sure. Let's take a couple of minutes if everyone's okay. Let's see what Vanshika has. But if people want to leave also, you can leave. I can continue as well.
No, but I wanted to ask that when I mailed you, you said that because I was using the round function, it was not working properly. So I have doubts about that. I mean,
yeah. So it's very simple, but I want to share with all of you. Can you, Cassandra, can you just click on, sorry, oh, you closed it?
No.
You're there. Can you just click on, no, just go back to codeboard, Cassandra, quickly. Just, no, stay right there. Just go to codeboard. So one of the things we did not do today is, this time, can you click on simulations test.py below? Yeah. This time I gave all of you a whole bunch of tests. Last time I didn't give you all the tests because I thought you needed help to write the tests. Please go through and understand these tests, okay? But you have the tests that I'm using. These are the kind of tests I use to grade. So I'm giving away the secrets to you, but it's okay. I don't want to keep anything secret. The idea is that when you do your data science assignment, I use tests like this to check what the answer is that you're producing, right? It's going to automate, the computer is going to check your answers. So the question is, if you calculate a number and it's a floating point number, like for example, the slope of a line, it's some number. If you round it to 2 decimal places and I don't round it, and if I do a test comparison, slope equals something, do you think it will pass or fail?
No, definitely gonna say no.
Yeah, that's all that was happening for you.
Okay.
Now, I can actually, in the future, I will do this. I didn't want you guys to waste energy rounding stuff and so on. But in future, I can say you should give me the answer correct to 2 decimal places. And then I can adjust the test to check only 2 decimal places. And then it will be okay. But for now, I didn't want all of you to do some rounding and so on. Does that make sense? Now,
Yeah.
because we are in the beginning of doing all this work, Cassandra, if you scroll down, you can see somewhere here, I have some examples where you see here the last test on this Monty Hall thing. I have some thing there. I'm trying to do some adjustments to 2 decimal places and so on. If you read the test, you will understand, okay? But don't read the test right now. Implement the code. Later we can discuss it. Okay? But I just want to say there's some interesting stuff for you to play around with if you want. So if you want to know if you got the right answer or something, you can run my tests on your code and see. Is that helpful or what? Can I get some feedback?
Yeah.
Is it helpful to have the test or not have the test? I want you to learn to write the test as well, but is it helpful to have the test?
It's really good. It's one of my favorite things that we've done.
Yes, isn't it? It's really good because then, yes. So already, Cassandra, try to run the test and see if your submit boxes is going to help you pass something.
Okay.
Yeah, you got something. There'll be some failures because code is not implemented. Okay, something happened here, so we have to check what happened.
Okay.
You will play with it and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you're not returning the right values, etc. Just see, make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We did something and looked at the output. Now you have to read the problem specification. For example, if you simulate boxes up to 50, you should return exactly this list.
Okay.
I don't know if you were returning this list or not, right? So
No.
play with it. Yeah, I think these tests can help you make sure your answer is correct.
Okay.
Okay, and if you pass all these tests, you will get 100% grade. So that's what I really wanted. That is nirvana for me. You know how to get the right answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other, Vanshika, that's answer your questions?
Yeah, sure. I also wanted to ask something else. If I want to, if I go back and improve some of my code that I had already submitted,
Yes.
can I get a better grade, or is it done for once and all?
No, I think I've left everything open, Vanshika, if anything is not open. So basically, I've left everything open, but if there's any way you're not able to submit it, let me know. I can try to extend it.
No, I'm asking that for the first lab, I submitted the code and I got, I guess, 8.18 points on 10.
Okay.
So that was some 83%, I guess. And then I went I went back and improved the code, so I got 100%.
Yes.
So, but the score was still saying 8.18, so I'm not sure.
Okay, send me an email now and we'll look at it like you did last time. Okay?
Okay, sure. Okay.
Yeah. I want all of you to be able to improve your scores. It's not even a discussion.
Okay.
So if I need to adjust some date or update some value, I can do that.
Okay, sure.
Right? You see there's a Python lab due September 15th. Maybe I have to change the date there. You see there's a date there on the screen. Yeah. Maybe I have to fix something there. Just send me an email. I'll go and do it. But I have to ask all of you, since you're here and all of you are working on these things. See, I'm trying to give you some deadlines so that you actually do the labs, right? I talked to Manish and we talked about putting the deadline is the end of the course. Will that be okay for you, or it's better to have deadlines which are sooner than the end of the course?
I think it's better to have deadlines for at least one session, 1 or 2 sessions. One or 2 previous sessions should also be open by the time we reach the 3rd session. That's what I meant.
Yes, I'll try to. So my goal here is I want to be flexible, but I don't want you to leave everything to the last of the end, right? I want you to do some work along the way. So that's why these deadlines are there, to encourage you to work. But if you're doing the work later, talk to me. I can always move deadlines.
Okay.
Does that make sense? If any of you doing code and you're not able to submit or anything, just come back to me. I'll fix it all.
Okay.
Make sense?
So we change the next week last session?
next week is the technically the last session, although we said we'll do one extra session to look at your projects. Yeah.
Okay.
So the week after, yeah. So we have 2 more sessions left.
Okay.
So how are you guys feeling at this point? Give me some. We are getting towards the last session. So how are you guys feeling? Have you covered? Feel like you learned some practical Python?
Yes, Vijay. I think it has been a good opening session for data science.
Yes. So immediately after this, I'm going to do the data management course. I'm working on it right now.
Okay.
Right there, we will actually we will very concentrate very quickly on actual data sets, loading data from files, scraping data from websites, doing some, we're not going to do advanced data science, but we're going to start getting all the data correct, fixing values, missing values, how to parse the data, how to transform the data, all this, how to visualize the data, all these kind of things, right?
Okay. So Vijay, will we be using some visualization tools for that?
Yes, we'll go to the Python. We'll go to the Python notebook.
Okay.
And I'll use different visualization libraries.
Okay.
Right, to visualize the data.
All right, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. What about Cassandra and Vanchika? What do you think? You see what we can do in that course?
Yes, and such a variety of things.
It's
challenging for me, but you've always encouraged us to keep going, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, keep going. It'll all fall in place, Cassandra.
Yeah.
Right, and I can see from the way you're thinking and asking questions, you're asking the right questions. It just takes a little time. It's a different type of thinking that for it to fall in place, right? Once you get used to that type of thinking, I think you'll be okay. But I'm sure you can see the progress though, right, Cassandra?
Yeah. And once you have problems that you want to solve, that's what makes it exciting.
That's what makes it exciting. Exactly. That's why this time when you do the project, if there's no restriction that you must work on only one thing, okay? When you're thinking about stuff, you think about 3 problems, share them all with me at least.
Okay, so we can talk to you about it next week or?
Definitely next week. I'm going to I'll send a mail out. I'm going to create a place for you to submit your project definitions as a text file.
Okay.
So you're going to write some description, right? I would like to solve the following problem. These are the inputs, outputs, whatever, however you want to describe the problem.
Okay.
Right? And then I will read it and then I will post a response. And then I'll open a codeboard solution where you can start writing code. But of course, the first part is just defining the problem, right? No point writing code until we define something.
Yes.
So please have fun with it. I think it'll be very cool. I'm very excited to see what you come up with. Okay, I'll let you go. I don't want to hold you longer, but it was really nice. Keep up the good work and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Okay, Vijay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.